Hey, this is Marilyn Gigliotti.
Hey, this is Brian O'Halloran.
Hey, everybody. My name is Scott Schiaffo, actor best known as the Chulies Gum Guy from the film Clerks.
And welcome to Clerks Minute.
You're listening to Clerks Minute.
And I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Clerks Minute, the show look back at 1994 Kevin Smith's classic, one hockey playing minute at a time. I'm Mike. Kyle is off today, and is mainly because there's nothing much going on in this minute but hockey. So, I brought on a special guest host, and he is in the middle of leaving a Wawa. Mike, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Just to explain to some people listening to this that why it's really strange that Mike's on the road while we're doing this show, this is a very last-minute recording because the last session me and Mike were supposed to have, Mike slept in, so we didn't get to record, and now it's the morning of the NHL All-Star Game, and Mike's at a Wawa in Garfield, and I'm sitting here waiting to do this show. So, that's what's going on.
It's an eventful week.
It really has been. By the way, I realized, actually, as we were going to do this, that this was not intentional to have the hockey playing minute the day after the NHL All-Star Game. This was not intentional.
That's just good timing. If anything, I should be thanked for falling asleep.
Well, it's funny because that was not planned. It's like when Star Wars week ended up on Christmas week. That wasn't planned. So the schedule is lined up great this year. So we are playing hockey on the roof here in minute number 45, and pretty much we're playing a lot of hockey. I wrote some notes down on jerseys and things like that. First of all, I still don't know why Randall is wearing a CCCP jersey. I still don't know why he's wearing that. I've been wondering that since our last show. We narrowed it down to a Russian jersey in this time period. I don't get it. I don't understand it. We have two New Jersey Devils jerseys, and I narrowed it down that Sanford is actually wearing a green old-school Devils jersey, by the way. Which, even though we're in black and white, I was able to figure that out, which is cool. Dante is wearing a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey, which I'll get to your love for the Penguins in a second. But also, I noticed in the background, the other goaltender was wearing, and we're in 1993, a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey.
Yeah, the inaugural season, right?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, wow. So, and like I said, before I get to your love of the Penguins, I do want a quick note. We have some music. I like to bring up the music in the background of the scenes, and I'll play it in a minute. And this is off the Clerks soundtrack, unlike the last couple of songs we played. And this is the Jesus Lizard Panic in Sierra. So we'll play this. So, Mike, I come back from this and I see Dante celebrating in a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey, which is actually going to be the street cap for this episode. And the funny part is we're in 1993. What's going on with Penguins history for those who don't know the hockey world? 1993.
Well, 1993, they were coming off 2 cups in a row,
which is
kind
insane.
of a lot like today.
Yeah, I know. Talk about parallels, right?
Except in 90. Oh yeah, except in '93 they were doing a whole lot better that season than they're doing this season. They won the President's Trophy that year. They were actually like favored to win a third until they got like knocked out by the Islanders. Ugh.
Well, that was the year Montreal won the cup. I remember '93 correctly. But
Yep, Montreal versus the Kings.
now I do want to ask
Wayne
you a
Gretzky in the
question.
finals.
You're a Jersey guy, and I've never understood this, and I've known you for many, many years. How the hell did you become a Penguins fan?
Oh, honestly, it was because of certain people who should not be named. Whenever we would play hockey on the NHL '94, and my brother would always pick the New Jersey Devils. Devils fan.
Of course.
And I was like, well, they were a good team back then. To win the cup, they were going to be Eastern Conference Finalists. And I'm like, oh, I want to be a good team to beat my brother, sibling rivalry. So I just picked the team with the highest rating.
I never knew this story. That's pretty funny.
And I just stuck with it.
Wow.
Dedication.
That's amazing. That's pretty freaking funny. By the way, I looked up something. I looked something on Wikipedia. Apparently the Penguins were the first NHL team to visit the White House.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not know that. That's pretty cool.
No, I did not know that either.
Yeah, because of there was George H.W. Bush. They have to clarify that in here. That was the Pittsburgh Penguins were the first team to visit the White House. There you go. That's pretty cool information.
Oh, I just wonder what the first team in general to visit the White House was. I actually thought that had went on longer than it has, because they must have gone during the '90s. That's really not that long ago, and I feel like it's like a tradition for most teams.
I know it says here for hockey they're the first NHL team. I don't know about the first team, but it says the first NHL team. So, well, keep in mind.
Well, other sports don't matter.
Well, keep in mind that the '95 Devils, they were the first team to bring the cup and like visit each other's do the cup tour, where a player would take the cup home and do that. They were the first team to do that. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Devils were the first team to do that. So. Weird tradition started in the '90s. Apparently, that's how it works. So anyway,
traditions are nice things to have. So.
Yeah, it's nice. So meanwhile, while the game's going on up top, by the way, I was able to try to keep track of the goal scoring, and at the point of the interruption, it was actually 1-1, and they had like 8 minutes left to go in the first. So there you go. Which is pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. But meanwhile, on the floor, on the ground below the game, we have the guy show up to the door and see the sign, and he's waiting patiently, and then he gets impatient, climbs the ladder, and actually for those who weren't paying attention on Friday, that's Scott Mosier again showing up in this movie. So Scott Mosier making his fifth appearance in this movie at this point. So he comes back up. I do want to ask you a question. I know I was originally, Sal was supposed to be on here. We have weird circumstances with Sal going on and everything. Actually, I'll just be honest with you. When you canceled on me on Wednesday, I was going to have Sal take your spot because it made sense, But we had some tech issues after our last show, and Sal was dealing with his dog passing away. So I kind of didn't want to bug him. I kind of didn't want to bother him, after all that. So, been a rough week. So I will say.
See, I didn't know that. Oh, poor Sal.
Yeah. So that happened. So I was going to talk to him about his hockey playing days because he did play hockey. Did you have any history playing the game?
Nothing organized. I used to play back on the street, like when I lived in Garfield. We would get together probably once or twice a week and just play in the middle of the road. The old classic time hockey. You got to move the nets when a car goes by.
Car.
Yeah, car. Oh, you missed your shot? Okay, run halfway down the block to go get the stupid ball.
That is pretty funny. That's straight out of Wayne's World. It really is. It's straight out of Wayne's World.
Yeah, which was fine for me because I was normally the goalie, so I didn't have to run. I'm in full pass. I ain't going for that shit. You worked for it.
That is pretty fun. I just had a thought. When did Wayne's World, the first movie, come out? Because this reminded me of the 92. That's actually around the same time as this.
92, right?
Yeah, around the same time as this. Wayne's World and the two big comedy movies, hockey scenes in it. Go figure. Go figure. All right, one more thing I do want to say. I brought up on Friday when we had Kurt Hoffman on that I did not, when I first watched this movie, I did not expect them to go on top of the roof to play hockey. What were your thoughts the first time you saw this movie?
Well, I mean, by then I had already, played a couple times in the street, so I don't know if it was ever an even idea of mine. Like that's clever and that's dedication to the game. It's like, well, where are they going to go, in the parking lot? No, they can hit someone's car. No, let's go on the freaking roof. Like,
it's so true. Because it's unexpected, and that's what made it fun. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing. Because there's not going to be much damage up here. The only thing I can think of is that that happens later on in the minutes, where the ball kind of flies off. I really thought it was going to hit a car window, not going into the drain. That's exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm shocked they didn't have like a cutaway of like the ball entering someone's windshield or something. Like,
see, that was a gag they did in the Mighty Ducks. When they would do their street games, and they'd always break car windows for no real apparent reason in the Mighty Ducks. How many car windows did Fulton break in the first Mighty Ducks movie?
Oh, like 5 or 7. Like, I don't know. I never kept count of it, but I'm sure it's more than I expect.
I know. Between that and I think there's a joke in the Mighty Ducks too, where they were playing things, and the puck kind of flew over, hit a window, and then another window. This kept happening in these movies. They caused so much damage that I was expecting that in this movie, and it didn't happen, which I guess that's always the good thing. I guess they didn't want to explain the fact they didn't pay for it, and there's so many other things going on in this movie.
Yeah, I was about to say, it probably wasn't in the budget.
Yeah, true. So true. So,
breaking glass isn't cheap,
Especially because everything around them is real, so they're going to break a real car window.
Yeah.
It's so true.
One of the guys. All right, which one of you guys want to volunteer your car? None of them were making money at the time, so no one.
Exactly. So
had the extra to put out.
Oh man, so that's pretty damn cool. All right, well that's that. I know I wanted to do a quick show here because this is a quick minute. There's not a whole lot going on, but I wanted to make sure I brought somebody on for hockey. So if you are listening to this Monday morning and you're a hockey person, I hope you enjoyed the All-Star game last night. I personally will be watching the Royal Rumble, so I'm a wrestling fan tonight.
I personally will be working.
I'm sorry for that. I'll be watching the Royal Rumble. Yeah. So wrestling fans, hopefully everyone's in a good mood this morning and Roman Reigns did not win the Royal Rumble. So there you go. I'll just say that. So on that note, thank you, Mike, for coming on the show. This was a lot of fun, as always. I greatly appreciate it.
No problem. Fun as always.
The next time we talk, I looked at the schedule, and we'll be talking playoff hockey probably the next time we actually sit down and do a show. Which is
coming soon. Penguins already got 50 games played, so it's only,
it's
32 left?
Okay, for those listening, and this is pretty funny how this works out for the schedule for the show, WrestleMania Sunday is the last day of the NHL season.
Oh, that's exciting.
April 8th. It's the last. Everything happens on the same day, which is crazy. My phone's going to be going crazy that night.
Busy week.
Busy weekend. All right, dude. Thank you for joining me. I appreciated this. For those listening, thank you.
All right, thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the show. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker Radio, iHeartRadio, and everywhere else you can find podcasts. We'll be back on Wednesday, where Mark will be joining us to finish out the week, and Kyle will be back on Wednesday as well. Thank you so much for listening to Clerks Minute. Have a good day, everybody.
Snorting, smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts, rolling blunts and smoking.